Hey, what's going on, guys? Finally got another gameplay for y'all today, playing some Modern Warfare 3 Team Deathmatch on Village, and this is going to be my Sniper's MOAB gameplay. This isn't my first MOAB, but it's the first MOAB that I got while I was actually recording, because I've gotten gotten them a few times, but never was recording whenever I would get them. Because I mean, I'm not always recording, and I really need to start doing that, because sometimes I'll get some really good shit, but I won't be recording, and I don't have theater mode running, so I end up screwing myself. But on Village, I'm always sniping. I like to snipe on Village, Mission, Interchange, Fallen, and I don't like any of the new maps, so I don't play those. I disabled the downloadable content. And what else? And look at that. I didn't even hit him. I should at least got him in the fucking elbow there. And so those are the maps I like to snipe on. And whenever I'm sniping, I like to control a certain area, certain points on the map that I know that where I have plenty of cover and where there's plenty of people that come from those areas. So the first area I'm always taking care of is, as you can see, this area right here, the big bridge, small bridge, and this little caveway tunnel where people are always coming through. And I got killed, and that's my only death of the game, luckily, since I got the MOAB. But I like to, I'll always come back to this area, which is kind of stupid, but I don't like going on top of that rock, to the left over there in front of the well. I don't like going on top of that, because that's a really visible spot for people to to see you. If they're across from you behind the white truck, or anywhere like that, you're a really easy target. Just stand up there on top of the rock, you have no sort of cover. And so that's why I like to hold down this point, the well. Here I'm gonna run up, be like an idiot, and actually go against my teaching here, so that's kind of a bit awkward, but I don't stay up there. See, I went back, and like I said, I like to watch the well that's overlooking the cave, and then the two small bridges, because where people are always spawning. People are always spawning on on the other side of that cave or across the bridges. And so in these spots that I choose have plenty of cover, and here I was checking my controller to see how much battery life I had left, which was at 2 bars at that time. But I like to pick areas that I have plenty of cover, and where I can hold it down if need be. And whenever I use a claymore, as you see, I put it right there, or right around the corner of that little rock that comes out a little bit of that little cave. And I'm never trying to actually get kills with claymores or bouncing betties, but mainly I use them to alert me if anyone's coming. Sometimes I'll put a bouncy betty right out in plain sight, depending on the area. That way I know there's someone coming up behind me, or around me. That way I can try to catch that person off guard instead of them catching me off guard. But as you can see, holding down this area, everyone's coming across the big bridge and small bridge, because they're all spawning in that little village. And that's what you want to do as a sniper. You want to hold down certain spots to try to protect your team and do well for your team, give them cover. And thank God I had specialist streaks running, because I would have died. And this is some spraying and praying right here with the infamous FMG9s. So, which I get bitched at a lot about using those, and I get bitched at a lot about the way I snipe, because I typically don't run around and snipe. But so I mean, I don't quick scope real often, but from time to time, if I have to, I will quick scope, or especially if I'm trying to move to a different spot. But I don't consider myself a spectacular, great, amazing sniper or a player, and I mentioned that in my Halo Reach video, because there's always people who's going to be better than me. But there's nothing real much to getting MOABs. I mean, there's so many gameplays of people getting MOABs, and really, you know, as everyone has probably suggested, using the specialist streaks is easiest, because once you have the specialist streaks running, you have everything. You have all perks, proficiencies. So I mean, it's a blessing to have all of that working for you at the same time. You really do turn into a super soldier. And so that's the reason why I like to run with it on a sniper class, because, you know, I use quick draw, so I don't have assassin. So I like to use assassin as my first perk to get, and then blind eye, and then depending on what I have, I think at this point I had dead silence on, so I had steady aim as my third perk to get. And that's typically how I run with the other classes, except I already have assassin on, but I'll run hardline first, and then blind eye, and then steady aim. So, and I also, the only other streak I use is the I can't think of it right now, support, with the recon drone and everything, because I just think the recon drone is extremely handy, especially if you're on a team that's not so great. You know, tagging up the whole enemy team so that they can see them on the radar is definitely going to help out your team. And keep coming back to the same spot, the same two spots to keep cover. I know that they're over, depending by how my team is on the map. I can tell that they were over on towards the white truck and the cave, or in that cave area going towards the white truck. And so that's one thing you always want to make sure if you're trying to go for a MOAB, and so you're playing cautious, you always want to check your radars. Check your radar, you know, see where your team is at, because if you know where your team's at, you can kind of get an idea of where the enemy is going to be. So, and also pay attention to, you know, your teammates getting killed. I mean, if you notice, that's why that radar is up there, so that you can become a better player, so that it's to use it to your advantage, which a lot of people don't use. But got the MOAB, and there's only one kill left at the time, so I only got one kill with it. My little victory 360, because I was actually recording when I got it. So that's really it. That's all there is for the game, guys. Ended it with 30-1, I believe. And I'm not a big person to go and get MOABs. This was kind of just like, I noticed I was close to getting one, so I actually, you know, wanted to see if I can get one. But that's it, guys. The next gameplay I'm going to have for y'all is a Halo Reach gameplay, and hope y'all look forward to it.